Hello all my sirs, mates, and ladies out there, how's it going? It's Brad Wheel, and also known as Jimmy J57, and welcome back to an episode of GTA 5 Pimp My Ride.
So you wanna be a player, but your wheels ain't flying. You gotta hit us up to get a pimped out ride.
You've got to pimp my ride.
Now today we're going to be customizing the Declasse Mamba. Now we're going to be recustomizing this car. I have done a Pimp My Ride on this one in the past, but we're going to be recustomizing it today because it has some new liveries that are going to be coming out in the game soon, as well as cars like the Futo, the Penumbra, the Ruiner, and a couple more are all getting new liveries in the game, and they are already in the game files. We just don't know when those liveries are going to come out. We just had the Menacer come out today, and I will be doing a stream on that a little bit later in the day, but we do have these new liveries that are coming out for older vehicles in the game, which is really awesome, and I'm really glad that Rockstar is actually focusing on kind of, adding in things to some of the older vehicles in the game. So I'll show you those liveries right now, and then we're going to try to, make a couple different builds today and customize the Mamba here to fit some of these liveries. So we got the white stripes, the black stripes, the blue stripes, red stripes, Hot Rod Flames. We got the white stripe racer, black stripe racer, white retro racer, black retro racer, and then we have the orange retro racer. So lots of different cool liveries, and I'm glad there's even that many added into that are going to be added into the game soon. We don't know when it's coming out yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be one of their drip feed DLCs. You know how every Tuesday we're getting new stuff added into the game. One of the weeks, hopefully, we'll be getting all these fancy new liveries for the cars, and unfortunately, I do have to use the mod menu to check them out right now, because they are technically in the game files, but, they are not accessible in Los Angeles Customs by default, so we'll have to put those on with the mod menu. Either way, so the car spawned in a cool kind of lava red here, which is pretty sick. But we're gonna max out this car first. We're gonna get it customized. Exhaust, we got the stock exhaust with a big bore. They're not too different from each other, but I kind of like the stock exhaust just a little bit better. Hood on the front here. I really love the stock hood for this car. I'm going to say it right now. This car as a stock vehicle is probably one of the best in the game. The stock scooped hood, the stock exhaust, as well as these stock rims are all phenomenal on this car. I will change it up, and we're doing 3 different builds today, but I'm just going to say that right now that I think the stock car of the Declasse Mamba is gorgeous. Obviously, it's a Cobra, which is a beautiful car. Now, I'm going to put the performance hood on, just to change up this first build. I'll come back to that scoop hood later, because I really do like that one. The other hoods are the secondary color or the carbon hoods. Really don't think a carbon hood fits too well on this car, and I don't know how I feel about secondary colors on this car, because the secondary color is actually, I'll show you in a little bit, is the roof, and then if I put that on, it would also be the hood, and I feel like that's just kind of an odd combo. Lights, we'll leave the stock lights, as well as no neon on this car. Respray. Now, the one livery that caught my eye first was that orange retro racer. I kind of like that, and I figure with that one you can either go with some sort of gray, like a cast iron silver or a graphite, something like that, or you can go with some sort of blue. And I know exactly what blue goes amazing with orange colors and other accent colors like that, and that would be the Saxon blue. So we'll head down into Saxon blue. It's one of my favorite colors, and you don't see it used often enough. A lot of people like dark blue and galaxy blue, which I think are phenomenal colors, and I think even that on the car, check out that dark blue, looks great. But Saxon blue, just something special about it. It's just nice, kind of medium between dark blue and light blue and the racing blue. I think it's just really cool. So we're going to throw that on. We're going to throw a pearlescent of maybe cream on there. Or maybe, since I want to use the orange one, maybe I'll try a pearlescent of orange. We'll try that out. Where's our oranges at? There we go. Bright orange is the pearlescent, which already is a cool color. Secondary color, we'll just make it to match. Nothing too fancy. Let's see if the blacks look any good. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to do black on the roof or anything. We'll just make that to match. I think this car should just be all one color, and I think it looks really cool like that. Alright, so we already have our color on the car. Pretty sick. Now, roof, we can decide no roof or custom roof. Now, I'm doing 3 different builds, so why don't each build I do a different roof option. This one, I'll just do the stock roof. Suspension, will drop that shit like it's hot. Transmission, turbo, tuning, of course, all the goods. And I'm thinking on this first build, I'm actually going to keep the wheels stock, because I think these stock wheels are phenomenal. You can see, especially from the back, these wheels on the Mamba have a really wide base. They're very wide wheels, as well as the rims on there are just nice thick chrome rims, and they just look really nice on the car, and matching that chrome accenting with the exhaust. So I think I'm actually going to leave that, at least for this build. We might be able to change it in another build, and we're going to go limo tint windows. Now let's go outside and throw our new livery on there. We got that orange retro racer. Check that out. We're coming out of the garage like a brand new car. Like a brand new car. Check out that beauty right there. Orange pearlescent on the Saxon blue. We got that orange retro racer. That actually right there is a pretty badass looking car, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I like it. Let's take it out for a little spin. We got max engine upgrades and all that kind of stuff on it. And if you guys didn't know already, this car is actually incredibly fast. Has a great top speed. Obviously, it is a sports classic car, so it doesn't have the best handling. That was actually a pretty nice drift. I didn't even know I was gonna pull a drift like that. But it doesn't have the best handling. It doesn't have the best acceleration. But if you get this thing going at a top speed, like you can beat out a Banshee 900R and that kind of stuff. Like this thing gets going fast. It's a fast car, and I really like that. Yeah, I just think it's a badass car. Now let's take it back into Los Santos Customs and get another build going on here. Oh baby, look at that. This is actually a nice car. That's a nice one. I actually really like that build. I kind of want to buy myself a Mamba online in anticipation for these liveries to come out, and then actually put this paint job on it, because I think this looks actually really cool. Now, another, like I was saying before, with the Saxon blue, it looks great with hot rod flames. So if you want to check out something like this, also a fantastic build for the car. So this still counts as one build. Don't worry, I'm still doing 2 other builds after this. But any car that has hot rod flames, put a Saxon blue on there. It's a great accenting color for those hot rod flames, and I think it looks phenomenal. So definitely check that one out. But I'll set this back to stock livery right now, and let's see what we want to do. Do we want to do the white stripes, the black stripes? We can do the black racing oh, I have an idea for you guys. All right, black racing stripes it is. Or the black retro racer, I believe it was called. We're going to throw that on. The exhaust I'm going to leave the same because I do really like that exhaust, but we're going to put back on the stock hood. It changed the livery back. I knew it would do that. Sometimes it's just a little buggy like that, but I will, I'll go outside and change that afterwards. Respray on the vehicle. I am going to go use that cast iron silver, which I will show you looks phenomenal, just with the orange retro racer that we have on already. But I'm going to actually be using it for that black retro racer, because we're going to be doing the Dreadstep Classic. I know if he watches this video, he's going to love that I do this, and I do think it's a pretty sick style for a lot of cars. Now onto the roof, we're going to go with no roof on this build, which I think is really cool. And suspension is all done. Now if we need to build the Dreadstep Classic, we need some sport rims, and we need the Endo V2s. Yes, Endo V2s. Dread's got mad style, so you guys got to pay attention closely here. Tires, you know what? Tire smoke will make it black. Sure, why not? Windows are already tinted, but there's no windows left on the car. Now let's take this beauty outside and put the black stripe racer on there. Look at that. So we got a cast iron silver on here. We have a cream pearlescent, and we have a nice black retro racer with some black Endo V2 rims, and that is our car. This right here is the Dreadstep Classic. And, it's just a good style for a lot of cars. Like, you can't go wrong with a nice clean silver on a car. The cast iron silver, of course. These sport rims are, like, the Endo V2s are one of my favorite rims. Endo V2s as well as S Racers are some of my favorite sport rims in the game. So they are very cool to have on here, and blacked out just matches so well with the kind of dark build of the car. So I think it actually looks really cool. We could also try them in chrome if we wanted. And I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like. So let's do that right now. Make those chrome rims. Where's our Endo V2s? Gotta find them in the list here. There they are. Make them chrome. And I also think in chrome would look really good on this car, because this car has so much chrome accenting with the exhaust, the wheels, and now with the roof down. We have those bars on the back, as well as the mirrors are all chromed out on this car. So I think the chrome Endo V2s also suit this car really well if you didn't like the blacked out ones too much. I think this is also a very cool build for the car. Now, let's take it back in there, and we will see what we can do. Now, I'm thinking we spawned in that really cool lava red, and I'm thinking this car would look great in a lava red. So you already saw that at the start, but I'm thinking what we could also do is a green. I don't normally make green builds for the car, but just after seeing it in some of those not import-export jobs, some of the business battles, I should say, you guys may have noticed that you actually, with some of the car ones, you actually pull a Declasse Mamba out of the back of whatever truck you blew up, and you have to drive that to, you know, successfully secure the business battle. So I think that's actually pretty badass. Now, the color that's on that car, I believe, is a racing green. And a racing green with some of those white liveries, I think would actually look really cool. So right now we have the racing green and the pearlescent on there. We could make a lime green, which is pretty bright. We got a bright green already. A gasoline green to have a kind of bluey tint to it. What else do we got? You got some more blues. You can go with a diamond blue. Would look really sharp on here. Let's see what else we got down here. Some of the browns might actually look cool on here. Kind of just low-key with a straw brown on there. You know what? I'm going to try it. Racing green, straw brown. Secondary color, I'll also make racing green just because that's the side panel over here. Maybe I'll make it white. Let's see what that looks like with white. So there's our white. That actually doesn't look too bad. Maybe the frost white, just not as bright there. Now, I did say I would change the roof option every time, so we're going to change it to our custom roof. So we got different bars set up in the back with the secondary color. We actually get we actually get a chin on the bottom that is also painted in white, which I think that's kind of cool, painted in the secondary color. Now, I'll take this outside, and I will put that the different livery on there. Gotta go find it now. Modifications, liveries, and the white stripe racer, or just the white stripes would both be really cool builds for this car. I do really like these white stripe racers, or even the white retro racer. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Alright, so we still got our Endo V2s on here, which I think look really cool, so I won't change those. But we do have, oh, look at that racing green. Racing green, straw brown, pearlescent, so nice and low-key. And we just have that nice retro racer on there. We got that custom chin in the front now. You can check that out. Looks a little odd because the whites aren't the same, so maybe I'll make the secondary color white a little bit. You know, maybe I'll make it the frost, or I already have the frost white, the ice white. Yeah, that matches just a little bit better. I kind of like that. Alright, that looks pretty badass. That is our final build for the car today. We had my blue and orange build, which I think is a really awesome one. I might actually make that again online. We had the Dreadstep Classic, and now we have this beautiful racing green build, which I think is actually a really nice look for the car. I don't normally use greens a lot, but I definitely think that the green looks good on this car. So yeah, that concludes this episode of GTA 5 Pimp My Ride on the new Declasse Mamba liveries. I hope you guys are excited for them. Let me know what you thought of this video, as well as what you think of the new liveries coming out for this car, as well as all those other cars that I mentioned before. And if you guys are excited for it, I think that one's really cool that Rockstar is bringing it back and adding more content to their older cars in the game, such as the Futo and the Penumbra and the Ruiner and the Bolican Prairie and the Mamba. It's just awesome that they're actually doing that, and liveries is just a nice simple upgrade to the car. It doesn't have to be a new $2.3 million car, and it kind of renews the fun value in those vehicles, because you can actually customize them in new ways. So I'm really excited for that. Hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of GTA 5 Pimp My Ride. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below if you have not already. And as always, have a good day.